That's like double.
Hello.
Hello. Today we're watching 10 times humans have fallen into zoo exhibits. Are you ready?
No.
Why?
I was gonna make a joke, but I don't want to do it. Should I do it?
Sure.
Okay. The reason I don't want to do it is because you look like a person that fell in a zoo exhibit when you was young.
No.
Just kidding.
He needs a beating.
Oh. We're restarting. We need the headphones.
Oh. Yeah, that would be good. All right, here we go.
Now we can do this. Now we can proceed.
Okay. Is it
That's our
still
new
going?
saying. Our new sayings are, let's get it, and now we can proceed.
Okay.
So when we start selling t-shirts and stuff, we can put, let's get it on it.
All right, let's get it.
Let's get it.
Let's get it.
Whether caused by an accident or because someone didn't think things through,
Oh,
people
that's
have
a
ended up in zoo
baby.
exhibits more often than keepers would like. Sometimes the results are heartbreaking, while other times we breathe a sigh of
Oh.
relief. Here are 10 times humans have fallen into zoo exhibits.
Beijing Zoo.
Pandas are seen as some of the cutest and most cuddly animals on Earth, so it's no surprise that people would want to get closer to
They are
them.
cute.
One giant panda, a
look.
large male named Gugu, has
Named
had
Gugu.
several unexpected
That's like your
visitors
name
over
right
Hey,
the
there.
years
Gugu.
at his home in the Beijing Zoo. In 2006, a drunken 35-year-old man found his way
he
into
was
Gugu's
drunk.
enclosure,
Well, yeah.
but was bitten on the leg when he tried to cuddle the 240-pound panda. The
That's how
following
big
year,
they
a
get?
15-year-old
240
boy snuck
pounds?
into
Yeah,
the
they get way
enclosure
bigger.
during feeding time and was attacked so badly by the panda that the bone was visible through the torn flesh on his leg.
Woo.
The final visitor jumped into the enclosure to retrieve a child's toy in 2009,
Why is Spidey
which
on
frightened and angered the enormous creature. Once again, Gugu went for the man's legs and had to have his jaw pried open by zookeepers to release him.
Oh.
Prospect Park Zoo.
I bet that sobered
Back
him
in
up.
1987,
Real
before the
quick.
Prospect Park Zoo was a converted wildlife conservation center,
Oh, I
a
thought that
group
was
of
a
young
snake.
boys snuck into the Brooklyn Zoo. On a dare, an 11-year-old boy entered the polar bear exhibit, thinking he could take a quick dip in their pool without waking them.
Yeah, no, bad
Paramedics
idea.
responded to a 911 call when a passerby heard screams coming from inside the zoo. Sadly, they were too late to save the boy, whose body was being mauled by the two polar bears,
like
Teddy
this.
and Lucy. They were shot and killed
Yeah.
by police in order to retrieve the boy's body.
Oh, no.
Jersey
That's
Zoo.
like double bad.
In 1986, 5-year-old Levin Merritt from West Sussex, England, fell into
told
a gorilla
you.
enclosure while vacationing with his family. He lost consciousness when he
Ooh.
fell, and panic overcame onlookers as a massive male silverback gorilla named Jambo approached the boy. However, the gorilla stood between the boy and the other gorillas in the enclosure, keeping them away.
Oh.
He was even shown on video stroking Merritt's
Oh,
back until
that's
he
so
regained
sweet.
consciousness. When the boy began to cry, Jambo moved away with the other gorillas, and paramedics and zookeepers were able to rescue him.
That's pretty amazing, actually.
Brookfield Zoo. 10 years after the Jambo incident, another child slipped through a gorilla cage at the Brookfield Zoo in Illinois. The 3-year-old boy fell more than 15 feet, landing on the concrete near several fully grown gorillas. Zoogoers and the boy's family cried for help, fearing the toddler would be killed. Suddenly, Binti Jua, a female western lowland gorilla, approached while carrying her 17-month-old baby on her back. She picked up the unconscious boy and cradled him in her arms
sweet.
as she moved toward the door of
Aw.
the enclosure. She laid him down gently in front of paramedics waiting there. The boy was brought to the hospital and made a full recovery following the
See, I
terrifying
like
fall.
that. A lot better.
SeaWorld
Now
Orlando.
watch, it's probably about to be something devastating.
Tilikum is the largest
Oh.
orca in
Yeah.
captivity, weighing nearly 12,000 pounds. However, his sheer size made it too dangerous for handlers to enter the water with him. In 1991, Tilikum and 2 other whales were involved with the accidental drowning of a young trainer after she fell into the tank, and Tilly was transferred to SeaWorld Orlando. He was then involved in 2 more incidents. In 1999, Daniel Dukes was found dead in Tillicum's tank, and in 2010, he seized his trainer, Dawn Brancheau, and pulled her into the water. Brancheau suffered a severed spinal cord prior to drowning and could not be saved.
That's
Berlin Zoo.
Who goes in the water with
In
a
2009,
giant
a 32-year-old
fish
woman
like that,
climbed
though?
the
I don't
safety
know.
wall at the Berlin Zoo and jumped into a polar bear exhibit during feeding time. The enclosure contained 4 bears, one of which grabbed a
That's
hold
not
of her
funny,
when she
but-
swam over to them. She received severe bites to her arms and legs before zoo staff rushed in to save her. They managed to remove the woman without having to injure the polar bears, but she was badly mauled and required serious medical attention.
Oh, she's
Apparently,
smiling.
the woman had fallen into a depression after failing to find a job, which contributed to her bizarre decision.
Oh, she did it on purpose?
yeah. She was trying to commit
Pittsburgh Zoo.
suicide.
In November 2012,
Oh, that's not a way I would do it.
Maddox Sturkosh
Get
was
mauled
killed
by a
for
bear?
visiting the Pittsburgh Zoo.
She wanted to
They
go
were
out with a
standing on
bang.
the
Oh,
observation
I
deck of the
guess.
African painted dog's enclosure when Maddox's mother lifted him onto the railing in order to get a better view. It's unclear if his mother lost her grip or if the boy leapt forward, but the toddler fell and was immediately mauled. Zookeepers reacted quickly, getting most of the dogs away and killing one, but sadly, the boy was dead before
See,
they
I
could
don't
reach
like-
him. The little boy's mother blamed the zoo for his death, but the zoo claimed the responsibility lay with her, and a lawsuit was later settled out of court.
Aw.
See,
Cleveland
that's
Metro
horrible. I
Park
don't
Zoo.
like those.
At the Cleveland Metro Park Zoo, there is a large cheetah exhibit where the big cats are able to roam freely.
Uh-oh.
In 2015, onlookers screamed as a 2-year-old boy fell into the enclosure, fearing the worst. Despite warnings from zookeepers, the boy's parents jumped in after him, attempting to
heck
save their
yeah.
child. Thankfully, the cheetahs did not seem interested in the family, and they were able to retrieve their son mostly unharmed. Zookeepers said it was incredibly lucky that the cheetahs still had food at the time of the accident, or things could have turned out much differently. Santiago Metropolitan Zoo. In May 2016, the Santiago Metropolitan Zoo in Chile's capital was marred with tragedy. Wishing to end his life, a man entered the lion enclosure naked and began
Naked?
taunting the men
Why you gotta
and
be
feeding
naked?
lions within the habitat. The lions pounced and began to maul the man before zookeepers were forced to shoot them. It wasn't until the man's clothes were examined that officials found the suicide note he'd left
His
attached
head
to his
is
shirt.
in
He
the
survived and
lion's
was
mouth.
taken to the hospital for evaluation. Cincinnati
Yeah.
Zoo. At
Oh,
the Cincinnati Zoo in Ohio, there is an enclosure containing several endangered western lowland gorillas. The Gorilla World exhibit first opened in 1978 and was the first of its kind as it had no bars. Barriers were still erected to prevent accidents, but in May 2016, a 4-year-old boy was able to slip through and fall into the enclosure. One of the gorillas, a large male named Harambe, approached the crying boy. At first it appeared that the gorilla may have been protecting him, but his posturing began to change, and zoo officials felt they could not risk tranquilizing him in case he injured the little boy before it could take effect. Sadly, Harambe was shot and killed in order to rescue the boy. The death of the endangered gorilla raised arguments on all sides regarding how the situation should have been handled. Thank you for tuning into The Riches.
Wow.
Please let us know what you thought of this video by leaving us a comment down below, and don't forget to come check us out daily for more incredible stuff you don't want to miss. Thanks for watching.
you.
You're welcome.
Don't
All right,
fall
then.
into zoo exhibits. Exhibit A.
Exhibit a B. I don't know. Bye-bye.